What is up, y'all? Here we go with the Frieren finale, and what a journey it's been indeed. I just gotta say, when I first wanted to start this series, the very first episode had no preconceived notions, had no idea what it's about. I don't even think I knew who the protagonist was, but I just was looking at my channel, and my channel was just looking like a sausage fest, so I was like, we need to get some women in here. So that was in the animation. You know, the art style, I'll say, was just more than enough to win me over, and I am so glad that I made the investment. In this 28, 30-ish weeks has just absolutely flown by. These characters, Frieren, Fern, Stark, elf, tall elf guy, you know, the people who, you know, everyone who's come and gone, like, well, most of the main cast, I'll focus on them. I was thinking how they kind of honestly remind me of Team Avatar a little bit, in the sense that, like, they just have such great chemistry, but not only that, like, Frieren, Fern, Stark, like, they just pop off the page. Like, they just feel like people, almost, not really, but they kind of feel almost like people like you could just meet. They feel very fleshed out, I'll say, whereas my goats, my protagonists, like, they are tropes through and through, but Frieren is a very three-dimensional character-esque series, the storytelling, and so I imagine with those, you know, with the character development, with this, like, with the budding story underneath, I really feel like the second season, whenever that comes around, is probably going to be pretty darn plot heavy. Like, this seemed like a really good way to, like, introduce our characters in the world and what they're about, and I'm here for it. So with that said, yeah, here we go with the season finale, and that's kind of a bummer, but let's start. That's a flex too. Like, that's, oh, speaking of flexes, you pass out of my sight. Let's go. Dinkin is going to pass. He has to. If Siri is going to be redeemed, like, she doesn't need redeemed. Her character is just being, like, a hard seller. I get it, but, like, please, Dinkin. It really tells you so much about how she, like, sees herself. The fact she doesn't even feel the need to, like, look at the people she's chastising. Man, Dinkin was a handsome feller. But now he's all shriveled up. I appreciate them actually just having, like, a normal conversation. Yes! Maybe everyone who passes is this. Yeah. Maybe not everyone, but. The people would riot if she didn't pass, okay? That's all we needed. Cautious. Oh my gosh. What she said at first totally went over my head. He was never there. How is that not disqualifiable? If he passes, this thing is rigged. I'm over it. I'm over it! I would be shocked if he failed. Okay, it's already giving pass. Oh, so random without she. I feel like she's on board with be on board with that. That's kind of interesting that, like, everyone. I guess it would be kind of like a weird thing to, like, flip it and have, like, the season finale be everyone, like, who failed. I guess that would be a choice. But yeah, I feel like not everyone's gonna go on this way. This character, what did she do? How cute. Literally, I was just joking. Yes, there's lots of ways to like get in her favor. At least I guess the the road to passing with Siri is not narrow, I guess. Flattery, competence. Honestly, that's how you excel in any job. I would not want to do this twice. Ah, the iconic trademark those head pats. I don't know. I feel like we just knew, like from the start, like from exam one. From exam one, after Dinkin like robbed that no name worthless group of their bird, I knew Dinkin was going to pass. Which honestly bears repeating. Good writing. Oh yeah, now it feels like an epilogue. Like a Black Friday fight about to break out. Me and my like last day of work, 5 brownies today. I feel like Stark probably grew up very like, you know, not with the pleasures, I guess. He couldn't even finish his cookie. Gosh, this is so like cordial. It's sweet. You're his grandchildren now. Oh wow, his wife was important. Honestly, it seems more important than he is. And now he sees their budding relationship, living vicariously. Well, that makes me happy. I feel like Dinkin actually got something out of this, like on a personal level. The rest of them, they accomplished what they wanted to, but Dinkin, I feel like, was able to get some sort of peace with this. So that's... It's these type of little moments that just make them really pop off the page. A girl stocked up. Leave her. She was like, but the books. She's worse than he is. Which is super sacrificial at all times. Complained. It was an inconvenience. That specific phrase. No grandiose reason here, he just wants to be strong. Is this, we're like finally humanizing him for all this? How cool is it that Frieren actually gets to see how they like affected the future? Like this just cements that they really are like living legends, even if some of the legends are lackluster. He was like forced to harden. I feel like that's almost like not breaking the fourth wall, but then like saying, you know what, it's the slow moments like this episode right here that are just as important. Oh my gosh. I feel like this cannot be the last we see of him. Dang, that was surprisingly deep. Magicus. Like a verb? Oh, she'd be left alone. I'm picking it up, Frieren. That there really is no selfless act too small. How wholesome! She might be on the verge of believing in the afterlife. I totally forgot that was the... going to your nephew's middle school graduation. Kicks! Why is she kicking Frieren while she's down? She defends her in such a gentle way. What did Frieren do to deserve this? Oh my gosh, I can't even imagine like what Fern would want to wish for. Like, I feel like you can't probably bring people back to life, so I'm sure her bringing her old mentor back is out of the question. But I feel like it would have to something to do with that, or I guess obviously the group she's traveling with now. Kind of does feel like that should be a private event. Man, they really all have. Well, Stark's pretty set. Wow, she trained her successor. Area of humans, baby. I am the first class mage. He's not like her at all. This is our new, like, our benchmark of, like, who's worth their snuff. The way this guy talks is so robotic. Damn, what a level of self-awareness. And the legend thing was accurate. Not expected! Even though this seems like chump change to her. Oh wow. Dang. Is that the first, like, good blow landed on her? And the way she's talking to him, like, she knows, I feel like she just knows what he needs. Like, what he needs to hear. That skill of hers apparently doesn't work on Siri, but... So Frieren kind of did with Fern what Siri never could. And Siri tried to poach Fern. Crazy. Again, just another way they pop off the page, like how they just interact with each other. Like how Siri interacts with Fern is how it's so different than how she interacts with Laween or Yubel. Like it's just so like Is it? She did it? She did the thing? Oh. The way they're so like calm in these like stressful circumstances really takes you back to the beginning. Like Frieren, how'd you get that blood wound? Stark went back home or flashback? I'm leaning towards he went back home. Yeah, it looks 3D almost. Oh, he wasn't even at home. He just made himself at home. The secret? She taller? She asked for Tide? It's not a waste, okay? It's practical. I was gonna say, I can't think of anything that, like, she would want to wish for. I feel like there's just a similar thing where, like, her and Frieren, like, this group, like, they just have what they need. Did good. Wonder that or, like, the flower spell. Oh, I'm gonna miss them so much. I feel like we won't get to see that, but... Guess she's not a hugger. That's his name.
すごくあっさり人と別れるよね。
Lack of attachment, or
意外とはいえ2週間も旅じ
because they believe they'll see each other again?
ゃでも旅を続けている
Yeah.
会うことだってあるだろ
It's not goodbye.
う。涙の別れなんて
It's see you later.
似合わない。
So I love seeing this era of Frieren still learning. So beautiful. Oh, that's really it. Ah! Is there any more?
また会った時に恥ずかしいからね。
I cannot wait for the comebacks in season 2. Everyone, bring me all the cameos. The end continues. It was the perfect conclusion. It was nothing flashy. I mean, they gave us a little bit with it, with that like random guy who had a grudge against Frieren for no... I mean, I won't say it was for no good reason, but yeah, it was just perfect. It was just the perfect... It really felt just like a perfect roundabout from like the first episode all the way until now. And I just like... Thank you, Frieren, for just being such a breath of fresh air in this time. Like... So yeah, next time it seems like in season 2 we are continuing on to, you know, our destination end day. Is that what it is? Is that where we've been going this whole time to see like the Holy Land, heaven, I think it is called, or something like that. And so yeah, it seems like they've opened up so many, like, I love like open world adventures like this because there's just such an endless cast of people and places they can like bring back. Anyone they met during these exams, anyone they met during their travels, like if you pick a favorite character, you can like anticipate and like hope that they might come back, and there's like a chance that it would because but man, yeah, so it seems like I feel like next time, this next season, like I said, like we're really gonna get heavy into the plot and like probably end up in their next destinations. And so I don't know, will there be more action, more storytelling, more balance? I feel like this season one definitely like hinged more on like the storytelling and like character development aspect of it. And so maybe they've kind of like laid the groundwork for that down. I mean, it definitely seems like that's what people like. People appreciate that. I like, you know, people like that, but maybe they laid the groundwork for that down and they can, you know, have like a really, you know, quicker paced next season. Who knows? I feel like that's the question. So I would like to see probably, I mean, I wouldn't be opposed, I guess, to a little bit more action, but I think the formula they have now is working well, and it's been quite the journey. It's been a pleasure. So yeah, I guess until next time.